Welcome back to BSTT. It's Ben here, and today we have a fun video topic where I'm talking about what I'd do if I was the GM of the New York Knicks. So let's just get right into it. So I'm going to show you our roster before, where we have Ryan Arcidiacono, RJ Barrett, Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, Taj Gibson, Quentin Grimes, Miles McBride, Nerlins Noel, Emmanuel Quickly, Julius Randle, Cam Reddish, Mitchell Robinson, Derrick Rose, Lucas Salmoniac, Jericho Sims, Obi Toppin, and Kemba Walker. And I'm going to just break down this roster quickly. Ryan Arcidiacono is terrible. RJ Barrett is best player on the team. Alec Burks is average. Evan Fournier is a little above average. Taj Gibson is one of my favorite players, but he's not that good. Quentin Grimes, decent young player. He gets too many minutes. So Miles McBride should get more minutes, and I think he's a good young player with some potential. Nerlins Noel, I think, is really underperforming this year. I think he's averaging like 3 points per game, something like that. And he's not playing all defensive like last year. But I think he was like injured in the beginning of the year, so it might take some time to readjust, but he's not doing that good. Emmanuel Quickly, who's missing a lot of shots now and not playing that good. Julius Randle, he's having a good year. He's putting up not all-star numbers, but around that, but he's too inconsistent. Cam Reddish, his body language doesn't look like he wants to play here, and he doesn't look like he enjoys New York. Mitchell Robinson, he still can't shoot from anywhere. Derrick Rose, hopefully he comes back soon. Lucas Salmoniac, I don't think he's even played this year. Jericho Sims, this guy, good. He's a good center, but all he could do is put up rebounds and dunk. I think if he wants to get actual minutes on our team, he has to expand his game a little. Obi Toppin, gonna win the dunk contest this weekend. And Kemba Walker, cardiac Kemba, not having close to the year I expected him to have. Alright, so let's get right into it. The first trade I'd make is trading Nerlins Noel and Lucas Salmoniac to the Orlando Magic for Mo Bamba. So Mo Bamba is a really good center, good young center, and Nerlins and Lucas Salmoniac are not doing that good, but something the Magic need are defense. If they could get a good defensive center like Nerlins Noel to be the backup center to Wendell Carter Jr., because Mo's not even the starter center, I think it'll make them a much better team. Also, I'm adding Lucas Salmoniac because I think he could actually get some PT there, because the Magic are not the best team, to say the least, besides like Cole Anthony and Wendell Carter. And now Lucas Salmoniac. Oh yeah, and I know I'm pronouncing his name wrong. It's just I don't know how to do it right. But I think that's right. Alright, we have our first ever really big one. We have Mike Conley coming to the Knicks for Alec Burks and a first round pick in 2024 that's lottery protected. I think this trade would go through because Mike Conley, although he was an all-star last year, his numbers they're good numbers, but not like above average, stuff like that. But Alec Burks is averaging like 12 and I think 4 or 5, which are good. And a first round pick lottery that could be a superstar. And yeah. Also, Mike Conley, his value is starting to drop off a little as he's getting older. And age doesn't really play that big of a factor in sports, or it shouldn't. But it kind of does, because the older you get, you start slowing down and regressing. But I think Mike Conley would benefit the Knicks because they need a point guard. I don't want to spoil later in the video, but Kemba's not going to be here that long, and D Rose keeps getting hurt. So D Rose is a good backup, but they need a starter, someone like Mike Conley. And Alec Burks, as a Knicks fan, I don't like him that much. He doesn't. It's like he'll have he's not consistent. He'll have some games where he'll drop like 20-something, 30-something. Then the next game he'll drop like 8, something like that. And I know the Knicks are the opposite of consistent, but I think he should be playing a little better. And I think at this year's trade deadline, the real life one, we should have traded him, but we didn't because we're the Knicks. And that's why I'm getting rid of Leon Rose, and I'm the new GM, not him. But yeah, moving on. I'm cutting Ryan Arcidiacono. He's like a reserve, and there are much better players that could be in the reserve spot. And also, he doesn't do anything. Like, those better players to be the reserve spot, if they had to go into a game, they could actually do something. Arcidiacono is not a good player. But yeah, moving on. I have us signing Isaiah Thomas for that reserve spot. I think people need to give IT another chance. I know he had all his hip injuries and stuff like that, but I think he could still average close to 10 something like that, like he did in the Lakers, or with the Lakers this year. He's still solid. He's just really small, which is his problem, but I think if he gets an opportunity, he could average solid numbers. Or if he gets signed to sign longer than a 10-day. But yeah. I also have us cutting Kemba Walker. Although Kemba Walker is a better player than Isaiah Thomas, I don't think it's really worth it for us to keep him this year. And because I know we're paying him a really cheap salary of $8 million in the NBA, which isn't that much, but like I'd rather Isaiah Thomas to do like about the same thing as Kemba, except with less minutes, and I think like $7 million cheaper, something like that. But yeah, also it's not worth it because every like just as a fan, every play Kemba has the ball or goes up for a layup and stuff like that, when he goes down, I hold my breath to make and hope that he doesn't hurt his knee because it's scary. It's like D Rose whenever he plays, except D Rose is starting to actually bounce back and play good. I have Evan Fournier getting traded to the Utah Jazz for a 2022 first round pick. It should be 2023. 2023 first round pick. I see this trade going through because Fournier is still a really solid player who's actually good. And if we're getting Mike Conley from the Jazz already and doing that, they're losing like a star. So what's better to do when you lose a star? Get a new star in Evan Fournier. Also, it's not like he has that much responsibility there. Like in New York, he has a lot of responsibility to kind of carry because he's one of the only good players on our team. In Utah, he'd be playing with like Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, who else is there? Or Alec Burks now. Yeah, he'd not have as much responsibility. But yeah. This is the biggest trade of the day. I have me as the Knicks giving up Julius Randle, a 2023 first round pick, a 2025 first round pick, a 2028 first round, and a 2028 first round pick, and Mitchell Robinson for Karl Anthony Towns and Jared Vanderbilt. This trade is a blockbuster. It's probably going to be one of the greatest trades in recent memory, and it's because Randle, although having his struggles this year, he's still averaging like 20 points per game on that, which is good. And Mitchell Robinson, although he has trouble shooting and stuff like that, he's a really good defensive center who could put up points. So that's a good package, along with 3 first-round picks, none of which are protected. Because remember, we might be really bad next year because it will be like Cat's first year here, and they could wind up getting the first pick or something like that. And then the T-Wolves would be one of the best teams in the league. Because they also have Anthony Edwards. But looking at what we're getting back, Cat is not the best center in the league. But after Jokic and Embiid, I have him there. And I think Jared Vanderbilt is a much bigger impact in this trade than Mitchell Robinson. Because he's a solid player who I've watched play before. He plays with something, and he just plays good. Like, he has that thing in him. Like, that grit. He has got the grit, and he just plays really good. So, yeah. Plus, he's not going to play a lot here. He's probably going to be, like, the backup power forward or something like that. But at least he'll be getting time to shine. And who knows? If he plays good, he might be a starter. So, this is the in and out chart. We gave up a lot more than we got back in return, but It's good. Also because we cut 2 players, so that kind of adds to it. But what we got was we brought in Bamba, Mike Conley, Karl Anthony Towns, Jared Vanderbilt, Isaiah Thomas, and the Jazz's 2023 first round pick. See, I wrote it there. I just wrote the wrong thing on the other one. And what we'd be giving up is Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, Alec Burks, Nerlins Noel, Ryan Arcidiacono, Lucas Salmoniac, Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, a 2023 first-round pick, a 2024 lottery-protected first-round pick, 2025 first-round pick, and a 2028 first-round pick. So this was what I think our lineup would be. We'd have, as a starting point guard, Michael Conley. At starting shooting guard, the best player in the Knicks, RJ Barrett. At the starting small forward for now, Cam Reddish. At the power forward, the 7th overall pick from 2020, Obi Toppin. And at center, the big man, the one, the only, Karl Anthony Towns. And then on the bench, we'd have Derrick Rose, a 6th man. The backup shooting guard, we'd have IQ or Emmanuel quickly. Small forward would be Miles McBride. Power forward would be Jared Vanderbilt. Center would be Mo Bamba. And then as the reserves / people low down in the bench, we have Isaiah Thomas, Jericho Sims, Taj Gibson, and Quentin Grimes. I know how Quentin plays a lot now, like with their current roster, but I think he shouldn't be getting as much minutes, and they should give it to someone like Cam, who's a better player. Also, Sims, it depends. He's either going to play low in the rotation or be in the G League for a year. I'd have to see as the GM. But thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe and have a nice day. If you agree with the moves I made, comment them down below. And if you don't, explain what you would have done differently. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video.